Good evening. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Please press 1 if you hear me. Very much appreciated. Y'all will see my food in a few minutes. Get these announcements. Press 1 if you hear me. Press 1 if you hear me, family. All right. Get these announcements out the way. And yeah, let me see them ones. See them ones who want to see the food. See them ones who want to see the food. Let's get them ones up. I don't want any of y'all do ones for anybody. I want to see ones. You want to see the food? I see put one up. Sonny put one up. Let's go, family. I know it's gonna be more people coming in. Oh, there you go. I said no. So you'll do it. All right, let me get this announcements out the way, and then I'm gonna let you show you the food. Then we're gonna get this going. Definitely gonna be panel participation in a few minutes. Welcome, JT better than ever. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Share this screen, share the stream. Hit the bell when I come for the powerful live stream or video. Also share my past videos and streams that I had on the channel. It's very powerful. I want you to check it out Thursday and all that's very powerful. I definitely want you to get those up. The other ones too, but I want to get them views up. Get them views up. All right. Very much appreciated. I'll be doing a live stream for the midterm elections in November. It's midterm elections of our perspective. Watch out for that. I'm gonna have it on the duration of most of the night. So I want you to stay tuned for that possible panel participation. Okay. Also, I have an underrated sports show on my channel with my brother and co-host She Stay Sleep, and usually Sonny be on there too. Want you to check it out. That's every Monday. The underrated sports show. That's every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Want you to check us out. Great information. All right. Also, I'll be doing this every Sunday. Fellowship cooking, possible dessert. Ain't gonna be no dessert tonight because my creative ain't there and everything. The stuff I really want, they don't have. So hopefully I'll be doing another dessert next week. All right. So every Sunday, stay tuned for that. See what else are they? Oh, if y'all wanna know more about me on Facebook, yours truly, Jerry Thomas. Also, I have a Facebook group, all in caps, JT MVP, Thinking for Ourselves. Also, I have a Twitter account, also in caps, at JT Blackman 44. The Instagram account, lower caps, The Underrated Darkness. Also, I'm in this business venture with my brother Ernest Jones. He's still in the hospital, but he's doing better. It's AnsAllToys.com. AnsAllToys.com. We threw out social media. Wherever you purchase is 10% off when you use my code MVP. We all about keep the money in our community. Keep the money in our community. Plus expanding the closeness back between the black man and the black woman. Very much appreciated. Like I said before, I want you to check out the video that I did Thursday. I want y'all to check that out that I did a live stream. Very powerful. All right. And all other ones I want y'all to check. Also I did a music talk yesterday. Was very successful. I also did other artists back then too in the past. I want y'all to check that out. All right. All right. So now I'm gonna show you my food right now. Oh, family, let's get this out the way. See this? This is heat up Hawaiian rolls, homemade, spicy, hot chili, white rice, and I throw a little $1,000 dressing on it. And same thing I had last week, wild cherry Pepsi with vanilla rum. Press 1 that you see it, or press 2 you didn't see it. And it's going to be matter of fact, I might as well do it right now. Mike James Boxing, what's up? What's up? What's good? Don't invite people on right now. Cause I got a topic I really want to talk about. And hold on. See, okay. Watch out for it, fellas. I'm glad everybody. Oh, I got 21 people up in this piece. All right. Okay, confirmation information. Okay, thank you. No problem. Very much appreciated. Kiana, thanks for showing up. Sandra Brown, thanks for showing up. Oh, like hair lady. Okay. What's going on? She stay asleep, my brother.
What's going on, bro?
I'm on. Oh, you didn't see the food. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me show the bro some food. This is some heat up Hawaiian rolls. Underneath is white rice, homemade chili, spicy hot. On top, $1,000 dressing.
No doubt.
I'm keeping it simple, brothers. It's effective. Simple but effective. All right. So how the brother doing, man?
Man, I'm just relaxing, bro.
Just relaxing. Just relaxing. But you know, I want to talk about.
What's that?
I want to talk about generations. And I sent Sonny and Omar. I sent it out. Lock lady boss. If you want to join, let me know. All right, you get on the panel. What I want to talk about tonight, brother, is that sometimes us as a people, we don't own up to our own mistakes. And and sometimes and at times, I mean not at times, but also already, we see the um domino effect that happened to our young ones. And so I want to chime into that, as a 60 baby, as a part of the 60s. And I just want to say one thing, that the ones who were born in the 70s and in the 80s, I apologize. I apologize, let you down. I apologize, I haven't did enough. Now I'm not gonna pick on the blame, but I'm part whatever the solution. If you part of the problem, you gotta be part of the solution, and you gotta be part of it. And only for me, to my brothers, including yourself, I apologize, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to be there for you and your family. And it goes for anybody else. So if anybody that is older than me, that born in the 50s, that born in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and stuff, let's apologize. Let's move on. Let's find out what mistakes that we made of each generation, so we could communicate again. And so, brother, what you think about that?
Uh, I mean, I feel what you're saying, you're not too much younger than my parents.
Mm-hmm.
My parents is, a little bit older than you. So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel what you're saying, Um, my parents, they echo the same sentiments. But I feel like, um, it's my job too to try to make the best out of my life too for my kids too. It's life is not what we want it to be, you
Right.
know. Life is what you make it. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, as long as you tried your hardest, and I feel like my parents, they did the best that they could with what
Right.
they had. Even if they may felt that they could have done more, you know, if they did or if they didn't, at the end of the day,
Well.
I'm still here and I can make a change for me,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really hold it. I don't really hold stuff against them. A lot of children nowadays, they hold things against their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you didn't do this for me, you didn't do that for me. And you really can't live like that, man, because at the end of the day, your parents gave you the most precious thing, which is life.
Mm-hmm.
So just because your ass ain't grow up wearing Jordans and wearing Gucci, don't mean that your parents didn't love you.
Right.
I grew up, when I grew up, my parents never had a car, and as I got to be a teenager, I kind of felt some kind of way about that because most of my friends, their parents had cars. So at a young age, they grew up, they knew how to drive and all types of shit. But we lived in New York. So in
Right.
New York, you really don't need a car,
Right.
And as I got older, I looked at it like that, like maybe they didn't have it to have a car. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But
Right.
me and my family got a car.
Right.
So that's something that, that's one thing that I didn't have as a kid that my children is growing up with. So I can't hold that against my parents.
Right.
And as children, we gotta stop, when we grow up and we become parents ourselves, I think that we realize that we can't hold shit against our parents, man. Even if they apologize to us and they feel like they could have done more, I appreciate that. But at the end of the day,
Mm-hmm.
I just love them and appreciate them anyway, man. They gave me life. They still alive. They still as healthy as they could be. I still could call them and get counsel from them and get love from them. And
Uh-huh.
that's really what matters at the end of the day, man. Because, like I said, your perception changed once you become a parent. See, A lot of these kids now, they acting out and shit like that because they young. You know, they don't really understand. But when they become a parent and they realize how hard it is to be a parent, then you will lighten up on your parents.
Hmm.
You know, you don't know how hard it is to be a parent till you become one.
Yeah.
You know, so you can't grow up holding shit against your parents because you don't know what it is to be one. Or you know what it is to grow up and be a child.
Hmm.
You know, so if you never raised a child yourself, then you'll never understand how hard it is to be a parent. So you can't hold shit against your parents because you grew up not having certain things. Because think about how much stuff they had to sacrifice for themselves just for you to have the things that you do have. You know, so we got to stop putting so much pressure on our parents, man, and just love them for what they done and love them for what they can do.
Yeah. Cool. Somebody just came on just back door. Hey. Well, I just for me, it's just that I want to do my due diligence to to be part of the solution, you know? Because this been like this been like I've been thinking about this brother for a while now. And I just I feel that if I'm gonna I'm not saying if I'm gonna be that person gonna set an example, I had to own up to my own mistakes. And the own mistakes that brought from me is be part of the generation that I come from. And I get what you're saying, but just for me, I have to do it. I can't speak for others, but I have to do it. That's why for me, I'm gonna do a better job to keep on pushing to create a mutual togetherness, a mutual communication. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I feel you. And that's, you know, that's all you can do at the end of the day, you know. That's all you could do, man. You know. We all living life and you know, as long as we keep striving and striving and striving, it is what it is. It's not it's no guarantee in life that you're gonna be able to provide a specific life for your children. You know,
Mhm.
we all want certain things, but that don't mean you're gonna get it. That don't mean that, and everything ain't for everybody too,
Yeah.
because one thing I noticed, growing up, I didn't have much, bro. I
Mhm.
didn't man, you talking about I know how to live with nothing. I grew up, you know, I grew up I was drinking sugar water as a baby. I didn't, growing up I didn't have juice and Kool-Aid and all that. I was one of I was like, I know how to live below the means of living.
Mhm.
You know, I know how to struggle. I lived like that my whole life as a child, but it taught me other things in life that some people that grow up that didn't experience that have to learn later.
Mhm.
So everything is a blessing in its own way, you know. Everything is a blessing in its own way because I rather I rather
It's a
learn I'd rather learn what I need to learn early in life and struggle early in life than have to learn those lessons as a grown man. See, I learned what it was to not have money as a kid. So now that I'm grown and I'm a parent, I know how to deal with money. I know
Yeah.
how to save, how to conserve, you know, how to sacrifice your needy desires that a lot of kids who grew up with stuff, they would just get those things just because their parents had money, so they grew up having certain shit. But as they get older and they become grown, and then they have to go out and work for these things, and then they find out how hard it is to accumulate it, then they stop appreciating people. You see, that's why a lot of kids are very ungrateful nowadays, because they're taught to respect things instead of people. They're taught to love what people can buy you instead of loving the people who's buying it for you. See, that's the lesson I learned growing up in poverty. I learned how to love my parents for who they were. You see? And this is what a lot of these young dudes and these young women, they don't know how to do.
Right.
And it's because they grew up with a certain level of being spoiled and being entitled. It's a sense of entitlement. And if you don't fulfill my needy desire, then you ain't shit to me. And this is how the youth look at people nowadays. If you can't give me what I want, then I have no use for you. And I think that mindset is what's messing us up as a people. But on the flip side, when those same kids that grow up with that attitude got to get out in the world and they got to feed and clothe a kid every day, then they start to realize what their parents went through. Then they realize when they got to tell their son, well, no, son, you can't get the Jordans this month. You got to wait till next month.
Right.
You see, then they start to understand, like, damn, I put my moms through a lot of bullshit that I ain't have to put her through, because now I'm like my mom's. I'm telling my son he gotta wait or he can't have that now. But when she used to tell me that, I used to act up. Now my son acting up against me and I don't know what to do. And that's why you got a lot of, you hear a lot of these rappers and a lot of people when they get older, like a lot of famous people who grew up and didn't have shit. What do they say? They always apologizing to their mother. They always apologizing to their fathers because they grew up with a sense of entitlement and they think that, oh, because I'm a kid and I see stuff, you supposed to be able to get it for me. And if you can't, something wrong with you. And then they grow up and realize that that's not how life works. And you got to learn to appreciate people, because that's the most important thing in life, is the people that's in your life. It's not what they could do for you. It's about who they are. And that's what's important at the end of the day. So as long as you keep striving and you able to do the things that you can do, then that's what's important.
That's cool. All right. Introduce yourselves, especially IC and everybody else.
Peace, family. This is IC, hailing from Philadelphia. This is a very interesting topic you just chose, JT. I'm going to keep it on surface for right now, but as the conversation continues, there's some things that I want to pull up and bring to the attention of the family. As Sheep Stay Sleep mentioned, growing up in poverty, it can either make you or break you. But you also learn a mindset. A lot of us growing up in poverty, we learn to work to survive. So our work ethic tends to be a little bit better if our parents instill that within us. But then we also learned how to make do or do without. So we learned at an early age what our needs were versus wants. Yeah, I think those of us that grew up in poverty and then as an adult, started making money, we kind of make mistakes with money management. But we never lose those skills or those things that we were taught as children. Some of the breaking the line is the fact that some of us are not teaching our children those life skills that we learned growing up in poverty and or not in poverty.
All right, excellent point. Okay. Sonny, then Omar.
You might check 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah. Honest to everyone in the chat. Honest to everyone that's in the panel. Peace to you all. Sonny's Boxing Talk. I am Sonny Justice Bay. I do remember, um, growing up, what it's like not to have much. I remember eating the government block cheese. I remember eating or drinking powdered milk. The powder that you add the water to and it becomes milk. You know what I mean? So I understand, struggles growing up. I understand what my parents had to do. And actually growing up when I had kids, I might have to deal with some of those same issues. You know what I mean? So me growing up as a kid having to experience that, I went to school. I didn't have all the newest clothes. You know what I mean? I didn't have everything a lot of other kids did. You know what I mean? So right now, as Sheep Stay Sleep was saying, the kids is a little bit different now.
Okay. Um, Brother Malik, introduce yourself and speak your piece while I'm eating this food. Brother Malik.
You probably busy, bro.
Nah, I'm right here. You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to just get a panel a shout out. And I want to the underrated darkness, man. Thanks for having us all on this panel, man. And I agree with everybody, everything that was said thus far. And I want to big up everybody in the chat too. My name is Brother Malik Omar. I'm hailing from Philadelphia as well, such as the sister IC. Shout out to Philly, sister. Yeah, good brother. A lot of us don't realize me. Like I look at my mother and parents, regardless of the materialism. I'm just glad that I'm here, man, because I could have ended up in a napkin in somebody's mouth. You know what I'm saying, on the floor. I thank God that both my parents allowed me to come here. I could have been aborted. So like the brother said, man, if you able to get the clothes and you're able to be clean and whatnot, consider yourself lucky because your parents, all their job is here for real, is for you to get here. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. But coming up, I was kind of like middle class. You know what I'm saying? My mother worked for ARA, and then my father worked for the post office. So a lot of my friends stayed in Richard Allen. I stayed in Jefferson Minor. But I felt more comfortable, man, as a youth being around, quote unquote, people that was living off the system. My aunt lived off the system. That was my favorite aunt, man. So I know how it is to see somebody with holes in their shoe. You know what I mean? I used to have lunch. I used to make lunch. And my father used to give me like $2 a day. I used to make lunch, and then he used to give me like $2 a day up here in Philly to go to the school and get the school lunches, man. So I had friends that was hungry, and I wound up giving almost damn near my whole lunch away. So I know what it is, man. But a lot of us we hard on our parents, and it's sad. It's going back to mass media again, going back to what these children listening to, what they watching on television. All that stuff, man, is propaganda. And so, a lot of us are. I was hard on my mom, very rebellious when I got of age because I wanted things that I seen drug dealers have. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these children, man, they up under a spell. And, these generational curses, man, we got to start loving our parents. You know, I know the scripture even tells you honor thy mother and thy father. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, I'm blessed to have a mother that ain't abort me. I'm blessed to have a father that allowed me to be, that impregnated my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, as crazy as it sounds, the underrated darkness, man, you could have ended up in a napkin, on a toilet seat, in somebody's mouth. You know what I'm saying? So we blessed to be here, man, and you need to respect your parents regardless of their financial situation. You know, and this is the thing. If you even just know your parents, consider yourself blessed. Because a lot of us, brother, we're in foster homes. I meet brothers, they never met their real parents. So, you know what I mean, man? Consider yourself blessed, brother and sister. And we got to stop beating up our parents, man. I'm just glad my mother, I lost her last October through cancer. And
My condolences.
yeah, no doubt. Well, the thing about it, thank you, brother, but my mother in a better place, man, because to see her suffering like that in hospice and moaning and groaning, man, she good. And my father, he's still living. You know what I mean? So I'm out of myself off of him health-wise. And they was good people, man. So, you know, don't talk them down, man. I consider that stuff a curse, underrated darkness, man, because the hell that black people got to go through, male and female, and then to come home and bring it into your sanctuary, man, it says a whole lot about you. But that's a spell, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't attack your parents. Walk away. You know what I mean? So, you know me, brother. I could be long-winded, but somebody just came on, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to them. Salute.
Yeah. All right. My family, Uncle Shug, then I chime in. Welcome, family.
Peace, man. Peace to the brothers on the panel. Peace to the chat. How y'all brothers doing, man?
Peace, peaceful brother.
Peace.
I'm a sister, but peace, Uncle Sug.
Oh, of course, and peace and happiness to the sister, of course. Yeah, I like the conversation, man. I'm at work. I'm pretty much gonna be listening in, but thanks for sending me the link because I could listen in without worrying about the YouTube screen cutting off. So I'm pretty much gonna be listening in, man. And I like what y'all saying about the you know, being thankful for your parents and stuff. And, you know, I was just going through that yesterday, but it was like me being thankful for being a parent. You know, it was my 24-year-old son's birthday. And
Happy belated birthday to your son, though.
For sure. But, man, I was just really reflecting on, man, a lot of my life's experiences, man. And I was just overwhelmed with tears, man. I couldn't stop crying because it was just like really a blessing to still be here and to still have both my parents, you know what I'm saying, married 56 years. And, you know, despite losing 2 siblings, you know, I still got a lot to be thankful for. And, man, you know, we gotta big our parents up and we got to do better to be parents. So that's pretty much what I got to say right now. I don't really know what was being said too much. I just kind of heard the brother talking about how thankful he was for his parents. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm going to go on mute, brothers.
All right. Yo, I appreciate you, Uncle Shug. On the real. Appreciate you. Well, the conversation is really all about, Shug, like, I'm a 60 baby. And we made a lot of mistakes in our generation. Even certain generations before that. The 50 generation, and the 40, I'm not going to say the 40, but for me, personally, when I was talking to the D to the S to the 1, I tell him I'm sorry that I let you down. Even though I'm striving, I'm sorry. Even other people on the panel, I'm sorry I let you down. But I'm going to do whatever I can to be there. And I think that it's time to self-check ourselves and to find out what mistakes that we have made in the past. And before I continue, you know, I came up real hard. You know what I mean? 2 pants, 2 shirts, 1 boot, 1 sneaker. You know, my parents couldn't afford Pro Cats. They couldn't afford They couldn't even afford Converses. We used to get Jocks. Jocks was the closest thing. And anybody that know Brooklyn, I think DSO, you probably know, you probably didn't know, they have a sneaker factory in Brooklyn in Park Slope on 4th Street. between 5th and 6th. He used to get all types of sneakers. And, you know, I remember my parents to get jocks like 2 for $20. And that they did the best they can. And when I'm growing up and everything, that there's many times that I had to eat one meal for 2 weeks straight. And they stretch it out different ways. And as for me, you know, 8 years old, I became allergic to seafood and bananas within months. So they had to buy certain things for me. That's the same. And it was at times that for lunch, that was my dinner. Because they had to save that for breakfast, you know, stuff like that, you know. So for me, yeah, I'm grateful, you know. I came hard. That's why I guess that why the way I developed these the topics and bring my life experience that I never want to be in. I always want to be there. I always want to remember so I can still have that fire to fight, because that's my parents. My father made his transition over 29 years ago. You know? And I tell any brother, if you have a relationship with the Father, cherish that. I can't even call my pops.
Rest in peace, bro. Salute.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Uncle Shug. I can't call him. He can't see me the man I became to be. And I'm 52 years old. If he would have been living this year, he would have been 90 years old. I mean, 91 years old. He passed away like 61, going on 62. Yo. So, but I appreciate the essence of generations. And we have to understand that part of that we lost in contact of our generation of our people, that is the system. When we was together, we get a lot of things done. When we want to improvise this system, to a certain extent, it pull us apart to a certain extent. And then there are some that wasn't hungry no more. They got contempt. And that's when you see our families breaking up. You see the labels they put in between the black man and the black woman. You see all the identities that we stood for in the past. It started breaking up to me and within the civil rights movement. And I'm not talking about back in the 60s. I'm talking about the civil rights movement. I'm talking about back then. I'm talking about late 20s, early 30s, when it was actually brothers and sisters was fighting for the rights for us as a people. Like Vernon Johns. I think his last name was Russell, but I find when I find out, I'm gonna do a story about him. I'm gonna do a live stream about him. But these and the sisters, these are the people that fought to keep our liberation together. And then all of a sudden you got Brown versus Brown back in the 50s. And you know, Thurgood Marshall, I salute him too, came the first black head of justice in 1967. But at the same time, we did take steps backwards. And the civil rights that now I'm going to the 60s now. Now the civil rights, now we speeding up right now. Now the civil rights we got and everything. You know, there's still gonna be some people get mad at me, but I don't care. Gotta see for what I see history for what it is. The connection that the black man and the black woman had the zipper stopped pulling apart. And we fighting among each other. And I salute the late great Martin Luther King. I salute him. I salute everybody that stand for the rights of our people. I salute John Lewis, the Congressman of Georgia, one of the young architects of the civil rights movement back in the 60s. Look him up. And he's still in Congress of Georgia. And I salute them. But at the same time, the sad thing about it, a lot of them old timers do not want to show the young ones to keep the baton going. They want to hold on to the baton real tight. And until when they passed away, the baton passed it to the oppressor. And we just fall back like that. So what we have to do, we have to develop our own baton. We have to groom other ones to understand that we have to do better. So when I get older, I could pass the baton to DS1. I could pass the baton whoever it is. And I do not mind. And it goes for sisters too. We gotta work in conjunction together. Anybody want to chime in what I just said?
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
Because about what you said about apologizing to the generation or whatever because you failed or whatever. Well, I've learned to be accountable. So I'm gonna say this: all my siblings was born in the 60s, right? I got 5 of them. I'm the only one born in the 70s, in 75. Man, I had my parents and 5 siblings showing me the way. So what that told me was I made those bad decisions. So I failed my teachers. And that's the case with a lot of people won't admit, is that we made choices and decisions to do the wrong thing, even though we had the right guidance and teachers there. So I want to apologize to the people before me, because like I said, I had 5 siblings and both my parents. My mom never worked a day in her life because my dad held it down. And I had the everything there. I didn't have to go into the street life and do everything I was doing. So in some cases, I don't think the older generation totally failed. Some of us just made bad choices, brother.
Okay.
May I chime in?
Go ahead.
All right. I want to kind of piggyback on some of the things he just mentioned, but also add a little bit to it. It's not the entire fault of the previous generation. We have to take ownership also for the upcoming and ourselves. But at the same time, there are other entities in play that has gotten to our children, are affecting our children, and this includes the devices that they hold in their hands and the devices that they watch on the TV, on the walls of their homes. They have implanted technologies within these devices that have aspects of mind control. The hypnotic inducer was filed for patent in 1956 and was granted in 1961. These technologies that are being used now, which is why everyone had to convert to digital, which is why everyone's being encouraged to get these small flat screen TVs, because these are the televisions that have these technologies within them. The smarter your television, the more they're actually mind controlling or implanting subliminal messages within your brain. There's a patent for that subliminal messaging system filed in 1980. Issued in 1983. These things are real. You can go online. I can give you U.S. patent numbers. These things are real. So we don't have 100% control of our children because of the devices we have in our home. Take the devices out, communicate with your children, then we can start taking our families back. And with that, I pass the mic.
Good point,
Okay.
sis.
What? Anybody?
That's a good point. That's a good point. I definitely agree with that.
Facts.
Definitely do. Because a lot of us, we the way we see our children communicate now is much more different than we did, and it's due to the technology. Nowadays people won't even ring your doorbell no more. People won't even knock on your door. They'll text you and ask you, is you in the house? They'll come to your door and text you. That shows you, the mind control aspect. Like, why would you come to my door and text me? Just knock on the door. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, we used to go to our friend's house and scream their name up to the window for them to come outside. Now everything is a text, everything is a DM. So that's a powerful point, man. But also how they trick us into needing these things is even more powerful. Because it's almost like every bums have cell phones. People who don't have nowhere to live got cell phones.
Right.
They got, and the cell phones got Wi-Fi when you walk in McDonald's, and like they're really engineering society in a certain way. So it's like it kind of like tricks us too. Because for some things we need these things, and then in other ways it affect us. So we got to pay attention to that. But that's a very big point, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Okay. Anybody else can go.
Yeah. Peace. Yeah. That's a dope analysis. From the
What's
brothers.
up, bro? Peace.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want to go ahead, good brother?
No, I was just speaking.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say, brother, that yeah, the brother and the sister, they did right on it, man. Because these technologies, they definitely are dangerous. They're good to have, but at the same time, we have to use them in moderation, man. And like for instance, that cell phone. Let me tell you something, brother. That in the '60s and the '70s, they had something that was called COINTELPRO, and what that was that they actually sent agent provocateurs into all these black organizations and destroyed them. So now they don't really need them because the cell phone, even with it off, it can hear everything that you say. And little do you know, all they have to do is hit a button. And that camera that you got on your phone, whether it be Android or iPhone, it take a 360 of your whole house because you constantly carrying it. And that's the way that they track you also. So and them smart TVs, you can go ahead and YouTube it. They also got a device in that, man. If it's plugged up, when it's off, they can actually look in and peep and see what's going on. So my thing is, if you with your mate and y'all, copulating and y'all talking about something that's private, you know what I mean, and it's between y'all, they can hear that, man. And so with our children, it's mind control. The sister right, and that's been going on since the '50s, man, the Nazi era. And so this warfare, this electronic warfare is dangerous, man. And it's so dangerous, brother, that even in your car, brother, they can actually hear everything with your radio. I often ride, and I'm not tripping. I often ride around my radio off because oftentimes I catch headache. I'm finding out now with your radio on, that's and I was catching headaches. That's radiation, because your tires is flipping on the ground. And they said that the seat that you're sitting on, man, a lot of this causing prostate cancer for men because you're sitting and you bringing in all the weight that you're sitting on and the radiation from the radio and the tires, because the tires got lead in it as well. But man, these are things, and I started to talk to my youngest daughter that's 16. I'm starting to talk to her more because I noticed that when I try to talk to her and like put the phone down, she snapped me, leave me alone. You know what I mean? I don't feel like talking right now. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm paying this phone. I bought that phone. Put the phone down. And so what I had to do was I had to take the phone for like 5 or 6 hours, and then she'll calm down. But she can literally sit up on that phone, and it was causing her eyes to go bad, good brothers and good sisters. Because I went to the doctor, they said her eyes was going bad. So that You know, I limit it now. But we definitely have to sit our children down and talk to them about these things because they are victims, such as we are. Because how many people don't know this information that the sister talking about? You know, RC and the brother and me. How many people in the chat don't know that information? So we got to go back to old school, brother. I actually homeschooled my children for a little bit, but because of my time and doing these films and whatnot, man, you know, and staying busy. My wife, she wound up doing nursing work, and it's like we constantly busy up here in Philly, and I'm in and out of town. You know, I couldn't do it no more. But your goal as a mother and a father or a guardian, if you can't homeschool your child, is to at least teach them history when you can't turn the TV off and take the cell phone away. You can do that, mix that in with the well, the daughter don't go to public school, you go to private school, but you can mix that in and train them and teach them, man. But these are things that we need to talk about, man. That's why I love the Underrated Darkness channel, man. Shout out to the LDBC. And your channel it deals with sports, man, but you know, this is something that we need to talk about. It's serious. And we're in danger as a species. You hear me say all the time, Underrated Darkness, that I don't want us to wind up dinosaurs. That's the way we're going. In about another 100 years, we'll be sitting in the Smithsonian facility. You know what I'm saying? The Negroid will be sitting right there with them dinosaurs. And them white folks in them ages be walking by. We once lived. We killed our own self.
Mm-hmm.
So this is real, man. You gotta, and back to I like the food that you ate, man. That's another killer because they'll kill you through your diet. Because oftentimes we eat on how we feel. If we're emotionally angry, upset, we're gonna eat bad. You know what I mean? Look at the things that's going on in our community. So that's why a lot of us eat bad, brother. But I fight hard day and night, man, to eat good. And also watch what you say, brothers and sisters to each other. Words are powerful. You know, when life and death is through the power of a tongue. So whatever you say and what you think of, there it is. You throw it out there in the universe, it's gonna come right back. So we gotta watch what we say to these children. These children could be definitely, man. I was talking to wifey today. A lot of us don't know what parenting is. Parenting is a very, very serious and it's a dangerous job, brother. So be careful when you make a baby. You got to make sure you sit down, you copulating with the right woman because it could be hell, man. And sisters can use them children against you, brother, and vice versa. Brothers could use them children against you, sister. So you have that's man. It's this a topic we can talk about on and on. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic because I'm gonna get back on and let somebody else go ahead and speak.
Yeah, I appreciate that. For me, that oh, I forgot. Before I continue, I made white rice.
Peace.
They didn't have no brown rice. I want to get brown rice, but they ain't had. I want brown rice and that look as melanin, you know. But they ain't had it, so I gotta get some Uncle Ben. Uncle,
Right.
I gotta get on Ben. Gotta get on Ben.
Well, white rice, brother. All we advocate that if you eat that, because actually, what people say, well, what white rice come from? It came from Queen Elizabeth, because ain't no rice is pure white the way we eat. And what she did, was she was so racist, she dyed it until it was white. That's where it come from, Queen Elizabeth. But anything that's white, we gotta kind of stay away from it. I'm not judging nobody, because I used to eat white rice. But when my wife, she cooked, it's mainly parboiled rice, or a rice is called jasmine. But me, I'm real strict, man. I like the wild rice mixed with the brown rice.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean?
But I understand you saying. I understand you saying you right, but I'm explaining this. I always people that know me on me before you come there. I always have anything that I cook. I cook with culture, but at the same time, maybe I'm getting off the subject, and I'll probably get back on the subject in a few seconds. That we do not have farmer markets.
Right.
We losing them rapidly, and I will be talking about labels and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna get back to talking to that, so watch out for that. But I did white rice, you know. I did some chili, a hot spicy chili,
Mm-hmm.
and I do some rolls. But my thing is about that the fellowship, what we have right now.
Oh, no doubt.
Learn to talk, learn to be at the table and talk.
Yes, sir. What they do say, Underrated Doctors, that if you do eat white rice, just make sure you soak it for about an hour or two prior to
I
cooking.
did.
Okay, good. No, well, you win it. Now we on the same page. Cause I would eat white rice if that's the only thing that's left there to eat and it's cooked right. I never said I wouldn't eat it. I just said that's not like again. I have
Oh,
it
I
in my
got
house.
you. I got you. No, no, you looking out. No, 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 no. I don't. Come on now. You know me better than that. Come on now. I got you.
Okay, okay.
Now stop you playing games. That you gonna don't make me come through this.
Nah, you my man. You my man. I'm on your team.
Yeah, yeah. I soak that. Yeah, yeah. That's true though. When you cook white rice, you gotta soak it. When you soak it, you cook it. You get the bring back the.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's
You
not
know, so
wrong.
you got definitely. Yeah, I learned that from my parents too. So,
Yeah,
get back. What I was saying is this that I like I said, I got told she stayed asleep when he first came on, almost an hour ago. I've been thinking about this for a very long time. I always want to chime into this topic because just like I forgot who said the I see the rest of your in your own way said we gotta own up like Shook said Uncle Shook that we gotta own up for what we do. And
no
I do
doubt.
own up for what I do. But at the same time that there are some people in the generation they figure they just contempt. And we gotta stop acting that way, that we just contempt of the time, the things that we getting because other sectors of our people is not getting that resources. And we play right into the oppressor mindset. And that's what I really want to get at and everything. I know for me is this that I'm 52. No,
Right.
and I gotta understand too that I'm striving for legacy now.
Right.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
yeah, see, brother, the thing I know exactly what you're saying. See, like I'm scared, brother. This is gonna freak you out. My grandfather, he died at 61 for eating the basic soul food. My stepfather, he croaked at 61 for eating basic soul food. Although that wasn't my real father, I always had my real father in my life, ironically, and my stepfather, which is really bizarre. But both of them, one was basically a savage eater, but we was cool, and then we was actually tighter on some subjects than my real pop. And my pop was like the conscious dude that been a vegetarian for 40 something years. So I was in and out, man. But I took a little bit from both of them. You heard me, and so it's like when I don't attack because I believe in freedom. Like I told you before, my wife she eat everything that's crawling. However, I'm a vegetarian. My wife is a meat eater, but she's a healthy meat eater. She soak her meat. She buy I say 90% of her over there at Whole Foods off of the Parkway. She soak it. It's organic. You know what I'm saying? We cook in different pots and pans, but it's much love, man, because we got balance. And a lot of brothers and sisters say, well, how can you do that, man? You know what I mean? She doing this and do. It's about balance. Ain't no wrong with eating meat if you eat it. To me, it is personally, but if you eating it properly and you cooking it right and it's organic, hey, I salute you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what freedom is all about because even Jesus said it's not what goes in the mouth is what comes out of it. You know what I mean? So this is a war that we in, good brother. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? It's what you eat, it's what you watch, it's what you talk about. Gossip. That's another sick behavior that a whole lot of us indulge in. And then we wondering why we doing some mischievous behaviors because what you talk about that day. You know what I mean? Why you got evil thoughts in your mind? And I'm no better than nobody, man. I just try to learn from my mistake. And that's what life should be all about. So when I look at my parents, who was like the greatest people in the world, they ain't have to be as rich as most children want their parents to be, man. It's all about the love, man. Give me that versus the monetary stuff, man, because that's minor. That's gonna go away, and that's what love is all about, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about how much money you got. It's about being kind. It's about being there and we take care of your responsibilities, being an upright citizen in your community, whether you're a black man or a black woman. You know what I'm saying? We could change our circumstances. It takes folks just like us on this panel, man. You the underrated JT. You know what I'm saying? And you always just be kind, man. If you see somebody doing something savage, I always say it's the difference between a nigga, God forgive me, and it's the difference between black folks. We represent black folks, man. And it's like when you go in the yard and you got all these weeds, good brother. These weeds that destroy your Lord. We got to start pulling out these weeds and exposing these people. Because everybody, they say ain't a brother and everybody ain't a sister. You got some white folks, man, that for real, I'll die for before I die for some of these niggas is bringing down my community, man. That's sad to say, but it's real. You know what I mean? So, you know, some of our people is toxic. I heard you say that a whole lot. We're at war, man. And everybody that got nappy head and big lips and that beautiful melanated skin, man, they's not your brother and sister, man. They would take you down in the community too. I got some of them folks in my family, man. I love them, but I love them from a distance, man. And so, you know, just like you told me, some of these trolls, man, some of them suckers, they look like me and you. So don't get that twisted, man. And that's the most dangerous thing to do. I used to do it. When you condemn a whole race, I used to be mad at white folks coming up, man, angry. To read my history. And it came from my father actually being a Black Panther, listening to him, man. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be angry, man. But the most dangerous thing that you could do is say all white folks are sick, all white folks are dead. That's dangerous because some of the very same ones that you say, and I ain't Coonan, I ain't Uncle Tomlin. Some of them very same ones that you call them devils, some of them very same ones you saying they like them savages, them Klanmans, them Nazis and whatnot. It'll be some of the same ones that help you, man. I'm in the film industry, man. And that and I get donations all the time, mostly from them. I'm not proud to say that. A lot of Black folks snub at a whole lot of my ideas and whatnot, man, because we're sick people. And until we come out of this, man, and start healing ourselves like we're doing now and talking about it, man, then, you know, we got to recognize who your friend and who ain't. And I had to learn that the hard way, man. I had a couple of people, man, I did some business deal with that looked like us and it went sour. You know what I mean? Because of their pigmentation. So now I just look at what's in the heart. If your heart ain't pure, man, I don't care how you look, man. You know, I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? I love my brothers and I love my sisters, man, but we sick right now. You know, so I'm gonna pass the mic, good brother.
Okay. Sonny Box Talk. IC.
Yes.
And she state, matter of fact, I'm gonna do it like this. IC, Sonny, and she stay sleep, and I'm gonna drop a question.
Okay. Malik mentioned diet, and then he also mentioned or alluded to, between a conversation between the two of you, mental capabilities of the melanated people. I'm going to strike that and make it mental abilities, because we do not want to put a cap on our abilities, which is capabilities. So going back to diet, one of the things that was infused within our community was lead, correct? And they blamed it on the paint. So, you know, they went through the whole process of lead remediation, and there were lawsuits about the lead paint and everything else. Mm-hmm. The reason why they wanted that lead paint removed from your homes is because of the upcoming technology that they need to be able to penetrate your walls. The lead was coming from the pipes. Not just that, even if there were lead in the walls, for one, we were clean people. We are clean people. And spring cleaning happened, multiple times of the year, not just during the springtime. And that meant baseboard washing, walls washing. You know how it was back in the day. But the biggest thing that actually goes hand in hand with lead poisoning, which does decrease the developmental and cognitive skills, especially within children 5 and under. And that's what they're targeting. They have to target our youth. They always target the youth. But it also goes hand in hand with the diet. Whether we are exposed to lead via dust and or through our water, if our diet is on point, it can detox itself from the lead. Most of our communities are in food deserts where everything is packaged, processed, and overly processed. There is no way our babies were going to be able to detox this stuff out of their systems. Therefore, it accumulated. And then we started seeing lead also causes anger. So now you have the angry Black man and angry Black woman syndrome. It comes from a social economic condition that they put within our communities. Because if you go into other communities, the lead levels in the water are not as high. It wasn't from the walls. So the technology that they're coming out with now is the 5G technology. I would love for everyone to kind of go in and look into that a little bit, because there are dangers involved with that. That's also targeting our children as well as us as adults. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic.
Excellent point. And you know what? I did a video about that. I think about 2 years ago. like a short video. I believe it's on my other channel, but I definitely want chime into that. And that's an excellent point. I see. Sonny Boss talk. Then she stay sleep. And then I'm just going to throw the question down, and we're going to continue this.
Indeed. Check 212. Can you hear me?
1-2-1-2.
Indeed, man. Yeah, I wanted to say, man, honest to your father, yo, your father's memory, yo. I know he'll be really proud of you right now.
Appreciate that.
Honest to your father's memory. But I agree with everything everyone has said. Sister IC, she made a good point. I actually kind of, a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy sometimes, but I actually cover up the camera that's on my phone, the front facing and the rear facing, and a lot of what she's speaking on has to do with a lot of things that they have in place that are attacking our people.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the things that our parents went through, that we can't, blame everything on them, because they basically, a lot of them were basically playing the cards that they were dealt in life. You know what I mean? They did the best of what they had. Like I was saying before, I know what it's like to eat mayonnaise sandwiches and carnation milk cereal and things of that nature, But I give my parents honor for, working with what they had. You know what I mean? My father was a Marine. You know what I mean? He did his thing for the country. And you come back to the United States and they want to treat you, they don't, you know what I mean? They don't treat vets and things of that nature with the proper respect. So a lot of our people are suffering from plans that they have placed that are really, hurting our people. So everything that your sister said about the phone, the poisoning of our food, they putting different things in our food that make people more feminine. You know what I mean? It seems like every century or every few years, we watch the number of homosexuality just rise and rise and rise.
Mm-hmm.
We was kind of joking around in the chat. We was talking about board games and spades and Uno, things of that nature. I think that a lot of us, we need to turn off the TV and put some of these games down and get back to real family time, spending time together as a family, playing a chess or playing a spades. You're actually exercising your mind when you play certain games like that, or just sit down and read a book. You know what I mean? Have a family discussion about a certain book. I think we need to get back to those things, but right now it's so hard because the lust of the eye or the lust of the flesh. Like, we see the newest phone, we gotta have it. We see the newest TV, we gotta have it. And to be honest with you, I am one who was guilty of that. Like, because I love technology. You know what I mean? As far as men, we love to come home to a real big TV and sit in a nice chair after a hard day's work. But I do think it's important for us to remember the family time that we used to spend together as a family. Board games and games like Scrabble. I don't know I don't know if a lot of people remember Scrabble, but that's a good game, man. It'll help you to exercise your mind, and it's also fun. And I think we're missing a lot of that nowadays. With that, I'll pass that mic.
Well, I'm going to chime into that. I never like fucking Scramble. I don't give a damn. It's going to burn that shit to me. I don't give a damn. I hate Scrabble. But we grew up playing like Double Trouble, Trouble, Monopoly, and stuff like that. Like games like that, they thought it was easy, but it was hard. And but at the same time, it brought the family together. And and yeah, Shelly first, yeah, eat dinner together. That's exactly how that's exactly why I create this. So we can eat dinner together and compensate. And for me it's like I miss those times. I miss those times that when my second oldest brother moved out. This was my great grandmother was living. This is like during the time he was engaged. He ended up got married, and I remember that he used to come to the house, and we used to play together, play board games and all that. And then I remember my great grandmother and my grandma, they loved to play board games. And it's like nah. Cheat as hell, but in their own way, they kept the family together. And I remember I used to wake up just waiting to play, you know. And but at the same time, play those board games. Those was excellent lessons that I learned too. You know, learn to strategize your life, live your life to the fullest, and to understand each move that we do when we play those games. It could be a bad move or it could be a good move. Strategize and make smart moves. And by each of us in our own way, grew up as probably it make us much more sharpened as much more. I say it make us more sharper thinkers, and we tend to really appreciate the things that we work hard for it. And then as we stay like-minded, conscious people, it spills over to our kids. I'm a godfather, so it spills to my godkids or my niece or my nephew. And there's nothing wrong to grow from that. But I find that there are some people, some of us as people, we go backwards. No, we don't want to deal with those schools. You gotta understand, because they want things fast. They don't want to think. They don't want to strategize because it's too hard for them. But see, when we come up, it was no choice. Now they have a lot of choices, but the sad thing about it, they're not taking good constructive choices. They taking bad choices that sometimes it put them back and sometimes it set us back. And then when they became older, they want to play this victim syndrome. But if you had made that choice back then, you had to worry your ass get back then. And so what we have to do, we have to recreate our mindset. We got to recreate our emotion, how we go about doing things. And we have to instill our kids that this is the way that we have to mobilize. Now, they get older, they fucked up, that's on you. But we have to recreate our own identity of putting back generations of hurt, generations of falseness, generations of evil tyranny. It's got to be up to us and everything. Before I go on, She Stay Sleep and Uncle Shook.
I'm gonna just say I definitely agree with what's being said. To touch on the technology stuff, I did one of my first live streams when I first started YouTube. Y'all could go check it out. Y'all gonna have to scroll down real far, but it's called Cyborg Youth. Cyborg Youth. And for a while now, I just, I did that live stream like 2 years ago. And I was wondering why, you know, I always kind of felt like our children were becoming robots. And what I realize is your environment helps dictate and shape and mold the way you think. So we are living in a technologically based world. This is why our children are addicted to cell phones, to iPads, to iPhones, to PS4s and all of these games. It's because they're born into this environment. We weren't born in that environment. Shit, the internet, when I was young, our internet was dialing up. Boop, 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 boop. You know, it took you 20 minutes to get on the internet. And back then you had to pay for it.
Yep.
You know, now your ass could be homeless, go in Popeyes and sit down and get a free cup of water and be on Facebook. So we got to understand too how important environment plays in things. They have made everything around us technically sound everywhere you go. As long as you got a phone, if you go anywhere where it's Wi-Fi, you could tap into this stuff. So we have to understand why, you know, why things are the way they are too. And it's mainly because of the environment. The technology is what's killing our food too. It's the technology. You know, we really have to pay attention to that. And what we have to do with our children is we have to sit down and explain to them what's going on. You know, not just ban them from using things, but explain to them what they're up against. Explain to them what they're actually using, what they're actually playing, and what it entails. And also, if your child has a love for these things, get them into certain fields of study. If your son loved to be playing video games and stuff like that, get him into coding. You know, me and my wife, we was gonna put my son in a class this summer, but we end up missing the registration period. It's a place not too far from my house. You know, it's like 10, 20 miles, but it's a place called Code Ninjas, where they got these Arabs. They made a school where they teach young kids how to code. That is the basis of all of these video games and these technologies. It's coding. You got to know how to type out the code. You got to understand what code does this and what code does that. You know, get them into thinking different about what they're using so they don't become a victim of it. You know, because they're going to use it. It's not like we're not going to use cell phones. We're not going to use the technology that's available to us. We're going to use it. We're in society where people, we can't live outside of society and not use it. Like all of that, like we just have to be real with ourselves. And I think that's what we really need to be doing too. Having our kids learn what they're up against and try to actually participate in the building of the future. You know, if you see certain things in your child, get them into it. Your son love video games. Just ask him, do you like video? Would you want to make your own? Okay, you want to make your own video game? All right, I'm going to put you in this coding class. It's a 10-week class. You got to pass the class. And at the end, they're going to teach you how to make your own app. Do you know how many kids are becoming rich off making cell phone apps that you could download for $1? We got to think on that level also too.
Yeah.
You know, we got to get our kids out here to participate in what's going on in society too. We cannot just, teach them to just be against things, but teach them to understand what they dealing with and how to deal with it, how to combat it, what to do. You know, because imagine if, you know, there were a lot of black computer programmers, and they're not a lot. There are not a lot of our people in the technological field that's doing certain things on a certain level. And that hurts us too. That's why we're always victims also, because we really don't know what's going on until it's too late. But if we got our people up in there, that can help us too. You know, those certain things can benefit us. You know, so we got to understand that too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know in Virginia, what they doing now, like the ones who live in a certain zip code that is they quote unquote poor, they send them to the special school, like She Stay Sleep talking about how to make apps. And then they pay their way, like they start elementary school, they pay their way. And so in case like when you finish high school, if you choose to go to college, you can go. They still pay, but excuse me. But when you get that information, they send them to different corporations, certain organizations, Fortune 500, and then we talking about our people. And so that's at some point you may see say sleep. Let's use the technology to benefit for us, but at the same time, let's be disciplined how to go about doing it. But this is the question I'm going to put out, and Uncle Suge, you want to chime in? You're more free to do that. We know that discipline is a big thing in our community. How do we get back to discipline our children? Is this discipline our children plus avoiding getting arrested? Anybody?
That's loaded. That's a loaded question. Can we get it back? I think as long as there's the existence of institutions like DHS, DYFS, or other human services that says you cannot discipline your child in a certain way, take some of the power out of your hand as a parent. We can instill but so much fear within our children. But as soon as they go out the door and they learn about these different laws that are on the books, they use them against the parents. I've witnessed it firsthand. You can't touch me. I'm going to call 911. And they're going to, the kids threaten the parents now.
Yep.
Now, if we start with our babies at a young age, I think we can win the youngest of the youngest generations. I'm talking toddlers and younger. Because I worked in preschool before, and these 3, 4, and 5-year-olds can give you a run for their money with their mouths and their behaviors. So if we can get 2 and under, teach the parents, each one teach one, as we said in the last chat. An older woman that's in the know, that's woke and conscious, adopt a younger woman that may not even have children yet. But if we can, instill these values in the mom or the potential mom before she were to have children, I think we'll have a better outcome in the future. Once we do have the children and we have to start it young. We also have to be consistent. I know everybody in the chat room as well as on the panel probably have seen a mother threaten a child and never follow through with it. You do that time after time again, and the child becomes classically conditioned to know that nothing's going to happen. So therefore, I'm going to do the behavior. So I think I'm going to end it there. Someone else can chime in.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm gonna say, um, for me, the first step of good discipline for your children is um great communication. And I'm a young dad. I'm only 32, and I've been a dad for a long time, and I'm still learning things. And what I'm learning with my sons, because I had two sons. I got a 12-year-old and I got a 9-year-old. And with me, what I'm learning is effective communication is always the best form of discipline, because when you communicate a certain way to a child, they learn to trust you. You don't want to instill. See, I grew up, my mom, she would instill fear in me. And that's what you don't want to do. Because if you instill fear in a child, when they're not around, they're going to do the shit anyway. When you're not around, the things that you make them afraid of and you threaten them with certain things, they're going to do it when you're not around anyway. But when you have effective communication and they trust you and they're not afraid of you, the things that they know they're not supposed to do, they will do it much less when you're not around, because they can always revert back to those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You see, when you used to getting your ass whooped, that makes you even more mischievous. It makes you want to do things you not supposed to do even more, because you like, well, I'm gonna get my ass whooped anyway, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. But if you know you're gonna get that 2-hour talk that you don't want to have, and then you ain't gonna play your game for the next whole school year, and you might have to do 200 push-ups, things like that, that's when they're gonna think twice. Because it's the way you communicate to your child is how disciplined your child is gonna be. Every child's gonna act up. They're gonna act up. That's the nature of children. They're gonna push the envelope, but it's how you respond at the end of the day. And I never want my children to be afraid of me. I always want my children to come and talk. Dad, this is what's going on with me. But growing up, I only did that with my dad. I never had that type of bond with my mother until I got older. And that's because my mom made me afraid of her. So when things was going wrong with me as I became a teenager and I wasn't around her, I wouldn't tell her. Because the first thing I'm thinking, she's going to say I was wrong. She's going to jump down my throat. She's going to curse me out. She might threaten to whoop my ass. All of these things go into your head. So I think the best form of discipline, man, to keep our children on a straight and narrow is just proper communication, man. And let your child always know that you're there for them. No matter what, you always going to be on their side. Whether you right or wrong, if you're wrong, we'll figure that out when we get in the house. Mm-hmm. But if you need my help, I'm going to come and get you. So never be afraid to tell me what you done. Mm-hmm. You see, but a lot of us grew up the opposite because we was used to getting our ass whooped, and we don't want to get our ass whooped. So what we going to do? I ain't do nothing. That's the first word come out your mouth. I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You see? So I just learned to raise my child different, my children different, and I learned a lot of my tactics from my dad, because that's the type of relationship me and my dad has. You know, my dad, he only had to really spank my ass like once in my life, and that's because I set the garbage can on fire, and that's ass whooping deserving. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just doing some shit I had no business doing. You have no business playing on the stove, and you're not supposed to do that. You know, that's not an accident or nothing like that. But everything else was him talking to me. And he realized that was the best way to raise me, because I'm a thinker, I'm an analyst, and I soak things up. So you don't have to, use physical force to get through to me. You can talk. And I realized that with my sons. All I got to do is talk to them. That's all I got to do. Sometimes I may talk a little tougher, but I notice when I'm calmer, I get a better result. And I'm learning that as I get older. The calmer I get, the more they listen. But if I'm riled up and stuff like that, that scares them. And we got to stop doing that to our children, because that's how we losing our children too. That's why our children are going out in the street, getting hooked on drugs, your son got 2-3 girls out there pregnant, nothing about, because they're afraid to come and talk to you. They're afraid. Yeah. Because it's bad communication. So that's my piece.
Yeah, well, before I continue, it's a short story. I remember that I got jumped. This was like I was in junior high school. Had a half a day, grown guys, trying to find them off. They took my bus pass. I didn't even want to tell my father. Excuse me, I didn't want to tell my father, because I know me and my father was never close. And my father found out like 2 hours later, like, we came in the room. I remember, why you ain't come to tell me that you got jumped in school, And I told him, we're not tight. you know what? At the end of the day, I'm your father. I protect you. And I want you to go and show me where they at. Don't get me wrong, I scrapped. And that's what fathers do. I don't care, you don't like me. If anything happen, you call and tell me. And I point him out. Him and I pull out to him, and his friends did they have to do. But I learned a valuable lesson of that. That sometimes you have to rely on your parents. You just cannot let wherever you have with your parents, you gotta let that go. And I remember that. Wow. Let me gather myself. I remember when he told me that he was dying. And this is about like in beginning of the fall of 88, because he passed away beginning of 89. And his first I said, Dad, I'm gonna tell you I thank you. I told him thank you before. And he said, when you become a parent, But I appreciate it. And sometimes that when we grow up as kids, we feel, I don't want to deal with a parent, I don't want to deal. Never let your anger, never let your quiet to get in the way of telling your parents what's going on. And that's their emotion. They're going to get angry. But they are your protectors. And when I became a godfather, when I christened my oldest grandson, my godson, I remember thinking about that issue. And so for me, that we got to get back to doing that. I'm gonna be mad at you, but I'm here for you, and it's gonna be all right. And we definitely have to switch it up. We just cannot rely on what's the system. We cannot let the system dictate how we discipline our kids. I remember, I'm gonna say one last thing and I'm gonna pass it on. That I remember it was crazy. I had a championship game. One of the championship games I played basketball in my time. And my father said, look, want to play a championship game? Yeah. And I man, my second oldest brother, man, I'm going to sleep. And he said, time's the game. Okay, like 12 o'clock, okay. Get up, you go clean up, everything, after that, you're going to be at grandma's house later on and everything. I said, yeah, I know. Okay, we'll meet you there. And I clean up everything. So my brother thought, oh yeah, Jerry's supposed to help me. No. I told him what to do. So now he already did what he had to do. Now you got to do some of his part because you did not listen. My father did not. My father had a wicked back slap. I ain't gonna lie to you, but he didn't put a hand on my brother. He didn't put a hand on nothing. He said, "You want me to take this?" I said, "Nah, I can take the bus. Here's some money. Here's some money. Take the cab. See you at grandma's house for y'all." All right. He punished my brother for 7 months because of one detail. He did not listen. If you keep on talking, I'm at a year. And also, when I learned from it, that sometimes when our parents talk to us visual, got to pay attention to it. Because sometimes we don't pay attention to it, we lose out. But at the end, when we get older, we learn from it. So I throw it at Sonny, IC, and sure, whoever want to go first. Sonny, matter of fact, you go first.
Indeed. Yeah, I agree with everything everyone said. Sheep stay sleep is absolutely correct. I remember when I was younger, I used to get my tail destroyed. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times, unfortunately, our parents may have taken things a little too far as discipline is concerned. I think that a lot of things that they've learned, they might feel like it's okay, but I don't think some of them really understand where some of those severe discipline tactics came from. As far as extension cords, switches, things of that nature. A lot of our people don't understand that a lot of those things the Europeans done to us. And what I've learned, just to kind of piggyback on what the brother said, when you sit down and you talk to your children, you know what I mean? Because there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that they've been through, we've been through. Just about everything that we've done, that's a possibility they may do. So when you sit down with your child and you actually pour into them, you can, see the fruit of what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Like I've seen a difference and just sitting down and talking, what I'm saying? It's like they're more open to talk to you when because a lot of children, they don't want to tell their parents everything, and because they have a fear, just like the brother was saying, of what will happen if they tell their parents this.
Okay.
You know, the fear of, you know, getting that behind toe up, you know, and just like the brother said, I don't think that we should at all instill a fear within our children. I mean, that's just me personally. You know, we want our children to be able to talk to us, and we want to be in a position to tell our children the truth. You know, what's really going on. I think, you know, there are some cases, like the brother said, when it's necessary. But like I believe some of the mistakes that our parents made, our forefathers made, is the way that they did it. And you know, that like I said earlier, is a result of what the Europeans done to us. You know, they would whip us. You know, they would beat on us. So it has its place, but you know, just don't take it too far. And you know, I agree with the brother said. That was very wise wisdom and advice. With that, I pass that mic.
Okay. Let's get IC and Brother Omar, Queen.
I chimed in earlier. I really don't have anything to add in addition to what the gentlemen have already said. Communication is key,
Mm-hmm.
but spare not the rod when necessary. So that's basically where I am.
Okay. No problem. No problem, Queen. Um, Brother Omar.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, good brother. You know, a lot has been said, and all it's just basically piggyback on what them brothers just eloquently said, man. You know, Sonny was on point. You know, and as far as you know, our children, man, I look at it like this: the brother hit it right on the nose. Our ancestors, and when you study our history, we didn't do a whole lot of what they call a beating and extension cord, whipping, and you know, head locking and busting noses. That did come from the oppressor. So they were bad habits passed down, unfortunately, from the slave master to our ancestors, and we took it out on our children. But as I'm getting older, I kind of like look at the whole situation. You know, how can you love somebody and hurt them at the same time? I mean, the children are our future. You know, and you know, and then they grow up and they angry, and then when they disrespect you, look at all the whooping that you done. Look at all the chastising that you done. And I understand in some circumstances it worked, but for the most part, man, it doesn't, man. Love ain't supposed to hurt, brother. And to be whooping our children, and I heard one sister said in the chat, and she absolutely right. I was downtown in Philly, man, on Broad Street, man, and this sister, she was literally talking to a 2 or 3 year old little baby like it was a grown adult. It was sad, man. And all the telling the child to sit down to me and you just like your father. And I don't need to use the terminology that the sister was, you know, using. And I understand that the woman can also be agitated, man, especially when they got several children, man, and they telling them and listening and whatnot. But that's patience. And again, parenting, man. When you lay down with that sister, you know what I mean, and y'all make an agreement, and God allow y'all to create life, and once the life is on board on Earth, hey man, it's a task. I tell you, man, any fool can make a baby, but it take a real man or a real woman to raise it. And this is where we at. And I have to reiterate, you have children having children. You know, I mean, take your time. Hey, I mean, who don't like to copulate, man? I mean, who don't like to be with the opposite sex, man? You know, but you have to plan for that. You know what I mean? I don't knock nobody because I had children. My first son was born when I was 15. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want my son, and thank God none of my children made that mistake. I'm a grandfather. My daughter, she had my first grandbaby. She was 21. You know what I mean? And I just thank God that none of them made the mistake I made because they seen me, you know, struggle and thank God I made it. But they seen me complaining about I can't do for self. I got to do for y'all. And so when you take that step, man, like and have a child, it is communication. If you can't sit down with your seed, with your seed, and have a discussion and talk to them like I'm open with all my daughters. You know what I mean? I prefer to talk sex with all my daughters and sons. Well, really, not my sons are the oldest, 28, 27, and 23. But, the girls in particular, man, you definitely want to dialogue with them because if you don't teach them, the streets teach them, then they come home with these bellies. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be open with these children. It is what it is. Mass media, they gonna teach them, bro. I'm gonna tell you. Mass media got these sisters out here thinking that they could be the next Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to look at the memorabilia that these sisters are wearing. They out here showing their butt crack. The cats out here showing they practicing their monkey talk, the underrated darkness, man, showing their buttocks and whatnot. All of this is cultural, destruction amongst us. And so what we have to do, I'm gonna tell you what to do. The first thing is you do, brothers and sisters, please listen. First thing you want to do with your child right now, if you're not communicating with them, come up with a creative way we're communicating with them. That's number one. Number two, find out what they like. Like Brother Sonny said, even if it's something that you don't really indulge in, try to like it. And number three, you know, time. Find some time as opposed to watching football, as opposed to doing what you want to do. Spend more time with them children because that's most critical, brother. And we're losing our children. I heard the brother talk about homosexuality, man. It was one time I'll go in on that. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm looking at the foods that a whole lot of these brothers and sisters are eating. That stuff is running rampant in the community. We before we judge these people, and I'm not big in the behavior up, so I'm totally against it. Ask yourself, man, why so many black men are feminized and so many women are turning into bulldaggers and lesbians and stuff emasculated? It's the foods, man, and what we breathing and whatnot, man. Man, you got some Frankensteins out here, man. They create these foods, they put it in the black community, and unfortunately, we don't do our research like we supposed to do. And I'm not trying to put my people down. I love who I am, brother, but I shop where white folks shop at. If I don't see no majority white folks, I don't shop because I know what they're doing. Because the municipal ingredients and the proteins and the vitamins and minerals in the black community is less than dog food. That's why on every other corner you see 3, 4, and 5 in Philadelphia Chinese joints. The number one link to cancer is what? Eating out at restaurants. Over 60% of our meals is eating out at a restaurant, brother. So we have to really go back to what our ancestors used to do. What was that? Cook. We ate what? Mainly on a Saturday or Friday night. But the majority of the week, we cooked. Obesity was running rampant. It was one time you didn't really see fat people in our community. Also, brother, I want to tell you about another seed, the K12 seed. You got these things that they're doing. They planting these seeds. And what it is automatically they have spliced the gene in the seed that when it grow, brother, it has a pesticides within the plant. And that's why you don't see a lot of insects attacking plants and whatnot because it's already grown in the plant. You don't really see that many bees no more because they're pollinators. Bees are not insects, man. Bees are actually birds. I just found that out. They birds, and you don't really see that many of them because what they pollinators. So these Frankensteins that's controlling the industry, like a lot of us don't want to call the name, like Monsanto, you know, and what it is you don't really see bees no more in blackjacks is because what they help seed the ground. And so what they do, they didn't destroy them. And these cell phone towers out here, the reason what's going on now with the bees, they can't even find their way back to the bee hut because of the cell phone towers, man. We don't know how, dangerous these towers are. And most of them are in black neighborhoods, unfortunately. And that's causing a lot of these sisters to develop all kind of breast cancer. That's why breast cancer in the black community is running rampant between men and women. I said before that breast cancer is 90% women and 10% men. So, man, this war that we into, man, it's a war that's being fought without no guns. It's a war that's being fought without no chains on our body, like slaves and whatnot. But this is an agricultural war. And, some of our people are down with it. I had a brother in my family cussed me out. He said, man, I'm going to die. I'm going to eat what I want to eat. Because he always challenging me. Well, you eat like a bird. You know what I mean? How come you don't eat no eggs? How come you don't do this? How come you don't do that? And I'm always, I counteract that by showing them love. You know what I'm saying? So the nail in the coffin was I went to eat over my aunt's house, and he just came and he was eating a cheesesteak like right in front of me, which I had no problem with. But when you take the cheesesteak and you put it on my plate, you my first cousin. That's the problem, man. And so, you know, I'm constantly attacked because of the love I have for my people. And, you know, unfortunately, man, a lot of us, we ego trip. You know what I mean? Just recognize truth. If you can't recognize truth and you want to live a life, that's your problem. But I believe in freedom, man. But when we and what it is I'm not attacking him personally. It's my first cousin. He doesn't like, he may overhear me talking to my aunt, who may overhear me talking to some of his brothers and sisters, because he's a very stiff-necked type brother, man. But he's always been against the grain. It's unfortunate these people, same people that look like us, man, brought Malcolm down. I heard you talk about Malcolm. They brought King down. You know what I mean? They brought Mecca Evans. You know what I mean? That's what I say. Some of these people, man, just ain't your folks, man. And they just happen to be blood relatives. So, you know, it's just it's an unfortunate thing. You know, the underrated daughters, I wanted to ask you something. I want to ask you something personally, brother. A lot of this weed been smoking. You know, I never really indulged, but I have a lot of relatives that smoke it. What do you think about that?
Say it again. Say it again. You was breaking up. Say it again, brother.
You know, the marijuana that's being, you know, or that's on the street, that's being smoked. I never ever really indulged, but you know, I have relatives. What do you think about it? Because it's rumored that it's a cocaine gene that's in it that's turning people to, after they smoke that stuff, they wind up going to that crack cocaine and to that girl, the girl and the boy. They say some of them genes is spliced. What you think?
Well, well, answer that question. I'm gonna tell you like this. I smoked weed twice in my life. Till now I was 13 and I was 15, and I ain't like the feeling of it because it makes me tired.
Yeah.
But I say like that back then it was a code. You know, if anybody like put any, you know, stuff in there, something will happen to you. But I say it's all about protocol now. You know, I can't really, oh, excuse me, I can't really say nothing about it because people go do what they want to do.
No, the reason why I asked your brother, because a brother, I said this and he kind of went off. I just wanted your reaction. I mean, what man will roll up a joint and some toxic paper, right? They call it a joint, smoke it and breathing fire down their throat. People do what they want to do, because what most people don't know is that when a plant catches fire, all plants and all weeds, what do? They defend themselves. A toxic oil is released, and you breathe in that stuff, and most people don't even know that's where the lung cancer coming from, that weed.
Yeah, I understand that, but right, I understand what you're saying, but the thing about me that people gonna do what they want to do, but there other nationalities do the same thing to do. But maybe I'm getting off the subject. Just understand what I'm saying. The rest of the panel, you have to chime on this too. Now they making money off it, but we not.
Right, and most people don't know. By the time that weed hit the streets in the black community, man, they got over 40 to 50 to 60 different chemicals on it. Some of them chemicals is rat poison, embalming fluid, battery acid, rat pee, horse pee. Sorry about that. Monkey kidney cell culture. So some of that stuff, man. I'm not trying to be funny, bro. I'm trying to get people to open up their third eye. See, that's the sense.
I understand. Right. I get you, Mo. I get you, Malik.
Okay.
I get what you're saying. You're right, but my thing is that now the floodgates is opened up. There's quite a few, you know, cannabis spots open around the country, but at the same time, we not benefit from it.
No, right, we're not.
And I know there's gonna be some people say, "Why are you promoting this and stuff like that?" But this is my thing. They making money off us in our communities. So why not just own if it's legit? This is why I feel if it's legit and it's like strong and everything. And I'm saying like if we gonna talk about economics,
right?
I figure like this that hey, if any nationality want to buy a product, okay, let's make some money for. Now there are some programs out there that we are prospering and stuff, but we still like a long way because of the stigma of the policies. So I said for me that people go do what the fuck they want to do. They you know, and if they want to get help, they can get help. But my thing is all about economics. I'm saying like, damn it, if you're going to smoke it,
right, No,
develop economics for it. That's all I'm
right.
saying.
No. I had no problem with economics because all money ain't good money. I got what you're saying, but my point is, this not me saying it. I'm saying anybody can go and search this, brother. Any plant that you burn creates a toxic to defend itself, and you smoking it, inhaling that stuff down your throat. That's what I'm saying. That's unnatural, breathing fire down your throat. All I'm saying is an incorrect way to deal with hemp or marijuana, and it's the correct way. I know people that actually they got a medical card, but they don't smoke it. I was going into before, you went into somewhere else. But what the brothers do is they make it into a concoction, a tea form. You know how you put tea in hot water and you cover it so the volatile oils won't escape. So they drink it as a tea. I'm not dissing nobody because it has its medicinal benefits on. I'm not dissing it, but my point was it's an incorrect way to use it, which is smoking and burning it, smoking and bringing fire down your throat. People gonna do what they want, so I understand that. And there's a correct way and a safer way to do it. That's all I'm saying. But I get what you're saying too, because most people, like you said, they're gonna do what the f they want to do. That's real talk. But you have truth, and then you have falsehood too. I have no problem with nobody.
Right, and go more on your point. You gotta understand. Back then, people like they go through protocol. They not smoking. Right now, there's no discipline. So people they figure like, oh yeah, they speak. Like there's brothers like I give you there's some people. I even get on subject. They people wear dreads.
Right.
It's wear dreads for fat, but they don't understand the culture part of why we wear dreads.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Not well. Dreads. I got. Since you brought it up, I gotta go ahead because a lot of people don't know. But why do people? They're not really called dreads. They tell. Well, as one roster told me, because I'm Christian. One roster told me, he said, "What's up, Dread?" No, man, don't call me Dread. Don't call me Dread. So I said, give me the history of it. And I researched it, and he was right. He said that the white people dreaded the people up in the Blue Mountains in Jamaica that escaped from slavery, and they fought for their freedom, the Maroons. So they called them Dread, because they dreaded them, dreadlocks. That's where the name come from. So he said, call them locks or call them roots.
Locks, okay.
Right. And so me,
locks.
Right. And so me, I learned something. You know what I'm saying? Because I was calling them dread for I don't know how long, and I was like, that makes sense because dread means something that's treacherous or something that you despise. You know what I mean? And so they dreaded the people that won. They called them locks, so they called them dreadlocks. That's where the term come from. So he said, no, man, call them roots or call them locks. Hey, I was school. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know everything, but if I know something that my fellow brethren, I don't care how he looked or what his pigmentation looked like, I'm gonna let him know. Because I learn something every day. My motto is when I wake up, I say, God, thank you for waking me up this day. And then after that, I said, I want to learn something new. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say, even on your platform, everywhere I go, man, I say, you know what? I don't be ego tripping or nothing. But unfortunately, a lot of us, we get offended when we hear the truth. Because a lot of people are religious freaks, man. And when you tell them something that they don't know, they up and on, they ready to rumble. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let somebody verbally rumble. I'm gonna let somebody else get on because I can go, brother. Peace.
I know you can. All right.
Chime in right quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So about the marijuana measure, there is something that the government is doing with the marijuana. I forgot the name of the brother. I know he's a part of the Nation of Islam, but he's one of the first
Yes, sir.
ones that I've listened to actually put the information out.
Let me ask you a question. Is the brother named Wesley Muhammad?
Yes, sir. That's him,
correct.
Dr. Wesley
That's
Muhammad.
his name. Yep.
Okay.
And in the video, he actually gave the code number to look up to where you can look online for yourself.
Yes, sir.
And see exactly what it is that they're doing.
Yes, sir, brother.
They're putting additives into the weed to make people more feminine. Like, it's not only the weed, it's the food. But just speaking on the weed measure, he did say, and I did look it up to see if it was right and exact to what he was saying. They actually have a patent, and this is one of the reasons why I was driving. I forgot once what state it was, but they was talking about it. They'll send you to school for free to learn about growing marijuana, and they'll, you know, set you up and everything. So they're going to be setting up places to where you're going to be getting weed that's tainted. So for the people, just so information for the people who, like the brother said, people going to do what they want to do. So like, if you can't stop from smoking weed at this point, you're going to have to learn how to find the weed that doesn't have all of those things in it, because there are some people out there. I watched another video. It was this guy who's he's sick. He got some form of cancer, and the weed is helping him. So he's also like a scientist. So his videos is like a whole bunch of parts. But in the first part of his video, he tested a lot of the weeds that he purchased from dispensaries, like down to the molecular, you know, structure of it, and found that, you know, a lot of it's not good. So you have some people out there that are actually growing some very natural stuff, but you have to know, you have to do your research and find out who those people are. So basically, whatever state you in, if they do say it's okay to do it and they start putting up dispensaries, just know that, do your research on what you're smoking, because the government does have a program and does have a plan. They are tainting the weed. With that, I'll pass that mic.
Okay, I see, Queen.
The CBD oil of the cannabis plant is actually more powerful than using it, than smoking it. It also, as in with, you know, in the edibles, is also a great way of getting the medicinal benefits of the weed without getting the carcinogenic effects of it. We also have to remember, yes, they are adding things to effeminize within our foods as well as within the marijuana, but the marijuana itself that everyone smokes come from the female plant. So, yes, they are adding. So you're getting a little bit of feminized effects from that also.
Okay.
It's like you won't go to your yard and pick some. Okay, you might do sage, like any of the herbs that are put out there here on this earth for us to use and for culinary purposes. Those are not the ones you're going to go and sit and smoke. So I think we should treat cannabis as the same way we would treat any other herb that have medicinal properties.
Right. Exactly. That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. I hate doing this, but I'm going to end anyway, because this is great conversation. This might be a part two. Might be a part two. But I want to start from IC. I want to make your last remarks. I want you to stay. Each person, I want to make your last remarks and stay. So, last remarks, my sister. Hello.
Oh, sorry, I was talking and I was still on mute.
Yeah, all right, go and finish. Go and finish.
So going back to the original topic of basically regaining our youth, we have to take on the each one teach one. It takes a village to raise a child philosophy. But we also have to remember that we are combating gubernatorial practices as well as capitalistic practices that are targeted towards our communities. With that, we have to make sure our diet is on point, remove or at least limit the time that we have with technology. And as Sheep Stay Sleep mentioned earlier, communication is key. Reading is fundamental. Communication is key to keep families together.
That's your last remark?
Yes.
You sure? Because you got, if that's your comment, you got a last remark coming. So,
okay.
Go ahead, Queen.
We can loop back around to me. Loop back around.
Okay, I'll come back around and you be live. All right, Sunday Boxing Talk. Last remarks, please.
Indeed, brother. PK boxing and MMA, everything is going wonderful, beautiful, man. Thanks for asking, man. Shout out and honors to everyone that came into the chat today. Thank you for sharing the evening with us, your thoughts and your great wisdom that you shared in the chat. Thanks for all the brothers that came through to the panel. Honors to you, honors to the brother Darkness. You know what I mean? Who give us a platform that we can give our measures.
Mhm.
Um, Thank you for that, brother. My
Yeah.
last remarks would be um, just everything that everyone has said has been great measures. I agree with everything. Let's put them to use in our lives. Whatever you see yourself falling short on, you know what I mean. Spend some time with the children. You know what I mean. Put down the cell phone. Turn off the TV. Listen to some music. Or play a board game. You know what I'm saying. Of course, we're not gonna not use these technologies. They have their uses, but let's not forget that you know family is the most important thing. Learn, like the sister said, learn to communicate with your family. You know, communicate with others. You know what I'm saying? Something nice to do if you have a child that has some friends. Get to know the child's friends. Invite them over for a board night type deal. That can open up a relationship with their parents. They can come over and eat, and the kids can be upstairs playing or whatever. Then y'all can play board games. Let's get to know each other a little bit more, and let's build together and continue to be blessed. And with that, I say peace.
All right, stay right there. Um, M- Brother Malik. Last
Um, yes, sir. All I want to say is peace and love to everybody. Hopefully, I didn't say anything that offended nobody, cause
Nah, you good, you good. Come on, stop playing fake. You good,
no,
you
no,
good.
I say that, brother, because you know, I'm constantly at spiritual war with a whole lot of folk in my family, man, that I love and
Right.
that I unconditionally. And it's like if I tell them something, what I mean, people constantly, and this is I have to let like, why you telling your business? I have to tell you my business because this is real. I have neighbors, man. We good now, but you ask me something and I tell you something, and then they get angry, and so that's why I said that. But I just wanted my last comment is just that I love everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? I think that this chat, it's a healthy chat. It's healing because the first sign of healing is to talk about it, to vent, get that stuff out of your system, man, male or female, and that's what it's all about, man. We have to model ourselves a little bit better than we have. You know what I mean? Because we are great people. We intelligent people. We're people that once ruled from the four corners of this planet. You know what I'm saying? So that's still genetically a part of us, man. So my thing is, love who you are, love your children, because I believe the children are our future, man. We can't be. It's not about us no more. Like they the elders. I told an elder isn't somebody necessarily that's older than you. Some of these old souls have reincarnated, brother and sisters. So that's what my thing is about, love, man, and just showing everybody that I'm on your level. I'm a servant of the people, man. I ain't no better than nobody. It just happens so I deal with truth, and truth can be offensive. So that's why I opened that statement by saying if I said anything that offended anybody, I apologize, and I love you, brother, and I love you, sister, and hopefully you forgive me. And I really mean that, brother. I'm constantly saying this, the underrated darkness, in my neighborhoods and around my own
Mhm.
blood relatives, man, because people take offense quick, man, and we got to cut that out. You know what I mean? We got to be able to learn. We got to be able to, accept constructive criticism. It's not about I'm better than you and ego tripping. We have to cut that out, man, and that's constantly in the black community at whole. That's what I'm dealing with. That's why I'm no longer. I respect the conscious community, but I'm not a part of the conscious community because a lot of them are ego trippers. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of the things they do, but man, some of that stuff, that debating, and I know more than you know, and I got a couple degrees. Hey, I got a couple, man, but I refer to myself as my real name, Malik Omar. Could have a PhD, but I ain't never called myself doctor, because that's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? To me, they titles, man, the credentials, you need them to move forward in white society. But for the most part, man, I'm just a normal brother, man, that just like to seek truth and love and unconditional. We got to do part two. And salute to you, underrated darkness, and much love.
I appreciate that. I see.
Okay.
Before I get to your last comments, last comment, let me read out the chat quick. And then I get to you, then you get to me and everybody else in the panel. I want y'all to stay right there for a few more minutes if y'all can. That'd be greatly appreciated. First thing, shout out to She Stay Sleep and Uncle Shook. Thanks for joining the panel. Very much appreciate your contributions. I mean, your comments was greatly needed and appreciated. And thanks your brothers. The ones who came earlier in the chat, Lot, Voice Lady, salute to you. And the rest, thank you. Anise Outlaw, thanks for coming, Queen. Bear Box, thanks for coming. Trying to get to you, sister. I don't know what happened, but I get you next time. I promise you that. I see I will do you in the few. She Stay Sleep, as always. Let me see, I miss anybody. Nikki, thanks again, Queen. As always, your input, greatly appreciated. 89, keep it up, brother. You on your way. Chocolate Queen, thanks for coming. Very much appreciate your input. Is greatly appreciated. Keep it up. Sheila Furness, I ain't see you in a long time. Thanks for coming. Come back. Miss your input. Sunny Boss Talk. Think I got everybody. Oh, Bear Box. Thanks for coming, Queen. Like I said, I get you back. I shut you out one more time. I'll make the Brother Rob, the educator in our community. Thanks for chiming in, brother. Greatly appreciated. CRU Royalty, thanks for coming, brother. Greatly appreciated. Come back. Mike James Boxing, LDBC, salute. Thanks for coming, brother, as always. Malik Omar, as always, thanks for your input. Spirit of Truth, thanks for showing up. Greatly appreciated. Come back. Esquire 1995. Thanks for coming, brother. We still looking for your content. Let us know. Kiana Scott Bay, thanks for coming. I think I got everybody again. I think I got everybody. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I got Spirit of Truth. Oh, PK Boxing and MMA. Thanks for coming, as always. Greatly appreciated. Oh, let me get this out. Get this out. Okay. Okay, I see.
Okay. I'm here.
Go ahead.
Life is a game, a gamble. We make choices, sometimes measured, sometimes not. We're full of energy, peace, hope, pride, and love. Through adversity, we strive. Therefore, we will survive. Peace and blessings, JT, panel, and the chat.
Thanks for coming. I want you to stay right there, too. Stay right there. And again, thanks, family, to participate. Thank you, as always, to chat to participate. Tonight, I say this week has been, but I had my ups and downs this week, and I want to thank IC. I want to thank Sunny Boxing Talk. I want to thank Nikki. I want to thank Afrocentric Autonomy TV. I want to thank the sisters that was there for me when I needed. I want to thank you so much that you love me so much to make sure that the brother is all right. And I want you to also to help me. Thanks for helping me to do to Thursday night to push on. And brothers, likewise, I appreciate that. You know? Now I know it's gonna be people. What is Underrated Talks talking about? All you need to do is go Thursday, look at the video that I made and in the live stream, then you get what I'm saying. I'm not gonna go back. And this issue tonight means a lot to me because I am willing to own up my mistakes. And I just want to keep on growing. I want to set a standard for our young people. That when I come through, it's blood, sweat, and tears. And that's all I want. That's what I want to do. Blood, sweat, and tears when I come through. I am not going to stop. And so on behalf of the panel, on behalf of the loving chat that I've been getting is very much appreciated. Y'all mean a lot to me. When I say you're part of the Darkest family, you are. I want to thank y'all so much to help me feel wanted. I really appreciate that. And on that note, you have a good night. Stay tuned tomorrow. The Underrated Sports Show got a goodie. And possibly we're gonna talk about boxing too. And other things. I might switch it up tomorrow. You never know. But the ones which you came late, y'all missed a good one all throughout the week. But be good. Let's be good to each other. The Dark is always going to grind no matter what. And on that point, Ghost.